tonight. You wake slowly, not to a sound, not to a voice, but to a feeling that something is missing. The air is cool against your skin. You lie still for a moment, trying to remember your name. It almost comes, then fades. Around you, others begin to move. Quiet, heavy. No one speaks. Chains shift softly. Wood creaks beneath weight. You sit up, following them, not because you understand, but because you feel you should. A man walks past. He does not look at faces, only counts. 1, 2, 3. You realize he is not greeting anyone. He is measuring presence. You are included in the number, but not as a person. You stand when the others stand. Your body copies before your mind decides. There is a strange calm in not choosing. You look at the faces around you. Tired, empty. No one asks who you are. And slowly, you stop asking yourself. The space feels smaller now, not because it changed, but because you did. Something has been taken. Something quiet. Something important. And as you take your first step forward, you begin to understand. You are no longer someone. You are something. Now, you stand in a line. The ground beneath your feet is rough, uneven. Dust clings to your skin. The line stretches longer than you can see. No one speaks, only breathing. Slow, controlled, as if sound itself could cost something. You feel eyes on you, not from beside, but from in front. Men walk past, stopping, observing, not looking at you, but at parts of you. Your hands are lifted without warning, turned, examined. Your shoulders are pressed, your back is tapped. Someone pulls your jaw slightly open, checking your teeth. You do not resist, not because you agree, but because resistance feels unfamiliar now, like a habit you forgot. The man nods, or maybe he doesn't. It is hard to tell. You are moved forward anyway. Another takes your place behind you. The line continues, endless, patient. You begin to notice no one is being spoken to, only assessed, as if words are unnecessary, as if everything important about you can be seen, touched, priced, without your voice. And in that quiet realization, something inside you settles lower, softer. You are not here to be known. You are here to be evaluated. After a long while, you stop moving. Not because the line ended, but because you have reached a point where movement is no longer yours to control. You stand still, waiting. The air feels heavier here, thicker, like something is about to happen, but no one says it. A man steps closer, slower than the others, more deliberate. He does not rush. He looks at you, not through you, but at you. And somehow, that feels worse. His gaze lingers. Your arms, your shoulders, your height. He circles slightly, as if deciding something that cannot be undone. You feel your body straighten, not by choice, but by instinct. A need to appear enough. But enough for what? You do not know. He says a number, just one. Calm, flat. It hangs in the air for a moment, then disappears into the noise behind you. No explanation, no reaction. Just a number attached to you. And as he steps away, already looking at the next person, you feel it settle. Quiet. Final. Whatever that number means, it now belongs to you. Not your name, not your past. Just that. And for the first time, you begin to wonder if that number is all you are worth. Now, the numbers begin to return. Not to you, but about you. Voices drift in from somewhere ahead, low, distant, calm in a way that feels colder than silence. You are guided forward again, step by step, until you stand where the men with numbers stand. They do not look at you first. They speak to each other, quietly, as if discussing something ordinary. One repeats the number given to you. Another exhales, slightly disappointed. A pause. Then a different number is spoken, lower. You do not understand the exact meaning, but you feel the change. Something about you has just been reduced. Not in your body, not in your strength, but in how you are seen. They gesture, brief, final, and you are moved aside. No explanation, no correction. Just a shift in value, decided without you. And as you stand there, waiting again, you begin to sense it clearly now. Your worth is something others can adjust, easily, quietly, without ever needing to ask who you are. A new voice enters, sharper, more certain. Footsteps approach with purpose. This one does not hesitate. He looks once, then again, closer this time. His hand presses against your arm, firm, testing. He tilts your chin slightly, forcing your gaze upward, not to meet his eyes, but to check something behind them. You remain still, your breath slow, controlled. He says your number again, repeats it, like testing how it sounds. Then he speaks to the others. Short words, quick. A disagreement, small but real. One shakes his head, another shrugs. For a moment, your value is uncertain, not because of you, but because of them. And in that small space of hesitation, you feel something strange, fragile, like your existence is being balanced on opinions. Then, a decision, final this time. The number is accepted, not raised, not lowered, simply agreed upon. And that agreement settles heavier than anything before. Because now you understand, your worth is not truth, it is negotiation. The moment passes quickly, too quickly. Before you can fully hold on to it, you are moved again, a hand at your back, guiding. Not harsh, but firm enough to remove choice. You are led away from the line, away from the voices, toward a smaller space, quieter, enclosed. Others are already there, sitting, waiting. No one speaks, but you can feel it in them. The same stillness, the same quiet realization. You sit among them. Your body lowers slowly, as if the weight inside you has increased. No one asks your number. No one compares. It does not matter anymore. Whatever was decided has already placed you here. Time stretches. Not long, but long enough for thought to return. And with it, a simple understanding begins to form. You were not chosen as a person. You were selected as something useful, something owned, something assigned. And as you sit in that quiet space, surrounded by others who understand without words, you begin to feel it settle fully. You are no longer waiting to be valued. That moment has passed. Now, you are waiting to be used. Now, the waiting ends. Not with a sound, but with movement. A door opens somewhere behind you. Light slips in, thin and pale. One by one, you are called forward. Not by name, only by gesture. When it is your turn, you stand. Your body moves easily now. No hesitation left. You follow the others through the doorway, into a space that feels different. Larger, open, but not free. Tools are placed nearby. Simple, worn, already used by many before you. No one explains them. No one needs to. A man points. You understand enough. Your hands reach out, and begin. The first motion feels unfamiliar, slow, uncertain, but you repeat it again and again, each movement becoming quieter, smoother, until it no longer feels like a choice, just action. Around you, the same rhythm builds. Many bodies, many tasks. No voices, only work. And in that steady repetition, something inside you shifts. Not broken, not forced, just reshaped. You are not here to decide what to do. You are here to keep doing it. Time moves differently here, not marked by sun or shadow, but by effort. Your hands begin to ache, a dull, constant feeling that never fully leaves. You notice it, then slowly, you don't. The body adapts faster than the mind. The man passes again, watching, not closely, but enough. You make a small mistake, barely anything. Your hand slips. The rhythm breaks, and for a moment, everything feels louder. His steps pause. You feel it before you see it. A correction comes, quick, sharp, not cruel, just certain. Your body stiffens, then continues. No words are exchanged. None are needed. The message settles instantly. Do it right, or be corrected. And as you return to the rhythm, more careful now, more precise, you begin to understand something deeper. You are not being taught. You are being shaped. Slowly, repeatedly, until there is no difference between what you do and what you are. As the work continues, you begin to notice the others more clearly. Not their faces, but their pace. Some move faster, smoother. Their hands never hesitate. Others struggle, small pauses, slight errors. You watch one, just for a moment. His movement slows too much. The rhythm breaks. The man notices. Of course he does. He always does. The correction comes again, firmer this time. The body beside you tightens, then resumes. No protest, no sound, just continuation. And then, after a while, he is gone. You do not see when it happens, only that the space he occupied is now empty. The rhythm closes around it immediately. No gap, no acknowledgement, as if he was never there. Your hands keep moving. They must. But your thoughts linger, just for a second longer than before. And in that second, you understand something that settles deep and quiet. It is not enough to exist here. It is not enough to try. If you cannot keep up, you disappear. And nothing stops when you do. Later, or maybe much later, it is hard to tell. You begin to notice something subtle. Not in the work, not in the space, but in yourself. Your movements have changed. They are smoother now, quieter. You no longer think before acting. Your hands know where to go, what to do, how much force to use. The rhythm that once felt imposed now feels natural, almost comforting. The man passes again. This time, he does not stop. Not for you. His eyes move on quickly, and for a brief moment, you feel something unexpected. Not relief, not pride, just a quiet awareness. You were not corrected. You were not noticed. And somehow, that feels like success. You continue working, steady, precise, blending into the pattern around you. And as that pattern holds, you begin to wonder if becoming invisible is the safest place to be. A figure appears at the edge of the space. New, unfamiliar. Their movements are slower, uncertain, like yours once were. You see it immediately. the hesitation, the small mistakes, the way their hands do not yet follow the rhythm. You do not look directly, but you notice. Everyone does. The man notices too. Of course he does. He always does. The correction comes sooner this time, sharper, more direct. The new figure stiffens, tries to adjust, tries to learn quickly. But the rhythm here is not patient. It does not wait. It does not slow. You continue your work. Your hands do not stop. But something in your awareness shifts. You are no longer the one being watched. You are the one watching. And in that quiet change, a realization settles in. You have moved, not upward, but deeper. Deeper into a place where mistakes are less yours and more someone else's. And that distance, small as it is, feels like a kind of safety. The day, if it is a day, begins to thin. The rhythm softens slightly, not stopping, never stopping, but easing just enough for thought to return. You sit again when told. Your body lowers without resistance. Around you, the same quiet stillness. No one speaks. No one reflects. There is no need. Everything important has already been decided. You feel your hands resting now, still, heavy, shaped by repetition, shaped by expectation. You think back, not to a name, not to a past, but to the moment the number was spoken. How small it sounded, how simple, and yet how final. That number did not describe you, it defined you. Everything since then has followed it. Your place, your work, your silence. And as you sit in that fading light, surrounded by others who carry their own unseen numbers, you begin to understand fully. You do not have value here. You have a price. And once that price is set, everything else becomes predictable. Now, something changes. Not suddenly, but enough for you to feel it. The space is different. The air moves more freely here. You are no longer among tools and repetition, but among bodies that stand straighter, stronger. You are given something to hold, heavier than before, shaped with purpose, a weapon. It rests awkwardly in your hand at first, unfamiliar but important. No one explains it. They do not need to. You understand. This is not for work. This is for something else, something more final. You are not called a slave here, not directly. A new word is used, quieter but heavier. Fighter. You repeat the motion you are shown, slow, controlled, again and again. Each movement sharper than the last. Your body learns quickly. It has already been shaped to obey, and as the weight settles into your grip, you begin to sense it. Your value is changing. Not removed, not restored, just redirected. You are no longer here to produce. You are here to perform. Training continues. Not chaotic, not rushed, but precise. Every movement has a form. Every form has a purpose. You are guided without words, corrected without explanation. Your stance is adjusted, your balance tested. You fall once, then again. Each time you rise faster. Not because you want to, but because the body now understands what is expected. Around you, others move the same way. Different faces, same rhythm. A quiet discipline fills the space, stronger than before, heavier. You begin to notice something new. The pain here is different. Not punishment, but preparation. It does not stop you, it sharpens you. And slowly, your movements begin to change. Less hesitation, more intention. The weapon no longer feels foreign.
It becomes an extension. And in that shift, something settles into place. You are being shaped again, not into obedience, but into usefulness of a different kind.
When the training pauses, you are left standing, breathing steady, the weapon still in your hand. No one tells you to put it down. No one takes it away. For the first time, you are holding something that could change an outcome, something that could decide more than just your own movement. The realization is quiet but deep. You look around. Others hold the same weight, the same potential. But no one looks at each other, not directly. There is no connection here, only awareness. You understand now. This place is not about working together. It is about standing alone among many. A gate stands at the far end, closed, silent, but present. You feel it more than you see it. Whatever is beyond it has not yet been shown to you, but it will be, soon. And as you remain still, holding the weight that now defines your role, you begin to understand the next truth. Your value is no longer just in what you can do. It is in what you can survive. Now, the light begins to fade, not into darkness, but into a softer, quieter space. You are led away from the training ground. The weapon is taken from your hand without ceremony. You do not resist. Your fingers release it easily, as if they already understand it will return. You are given a place to sit, simple, bare. The air is still here, heavier with thought than with sound. Others sit nearby. No one speaks. No one needs to. The silence is shared. Your body feels the weight of the day. Not exhaustion, but readiness. A tension that does not leave. You close your eyes for a moment, and the movements replay. Step, turn, strike, again and again. There is no rest in it, only repetition. Somewhere in the distance, you hear it. Faint at first, a low, distant sound, like wind, but steadier, rhythmic. You open your eyes. It continues. Not wind, not nature. Something human. Many voices moving together. And though you do not yet understand, your body does. Tomorrow, you will step toward that sound. The night, if it is night, passes without measure. You do not sleep deeply, not fully. Your body rests, but your awareness stays close to the surface. The sounds return again, clearer now, rising and falling, not random but unified. A pattern of voices. You sit up slowly. Others do the same. No one speaks, but everyone listens. The sound grows stronger, then fades, then returns again, like waves. You feel it in your chest, not as fear, but as anticipation. Something is waiting beyond this place. Something that watches, that reacts, that decides. The realization forms quietly. You have been training for more than movement. You have been prepared to be seen. And as that thought settles, you begin to understand the next shift. Your value is no longer measured in silence. It will be measured in front of others. Morning comes without announcement. The air changes first, cooler, sharper. You are called forward again, not by name, never by name, but by motion. You stand, your body ready before your mind follows. The weapon is returned to you. It fits better now, your grip steadier, your stance more certain. You are guided toward the gate, closer now, larger than before. The surface worn, marked by time, by use. You stop a short distance away, waiting, always waiting. The sound returns, louder now, no longer distant.
It surrounds the space beyond the gate, rising, shifting, alive. You feel it press against you even from here. Your breath slows, not by force, but by instinct. The gate does not open yet, but it will. And as you stand there, feeling the presence of something vast on the other side, you understand clearly. What waits for you is not work, not training, but judgment. And this time, it will not be quiet.
Now, the gate opens. Not quickly, not dramatically, but with a slow, heavy movement that cannot be ignored. Light pours through first. Bright, wide, unfamiliar after so much enclosure. Your eyes adjust slowly. The sound follows. No longer distant, no longer soft. It surrounds you, rises above you. Countless voices, layered together, forming something larger than any single sound. You step forward, not alone, but it feels that way. The space beyond is vast, open. The ground beneath your feet is firm, prepared. You do not look up immediately. Your body focuses on the steps, one, then another. The weight in your hand steadies you, and then you lift your gaze. Shapes fill the distance, rows upon rows, watching, waiting, reacting. You are seen, fully, completely. And in that moment, you understand something that settles deep inside you. Your life is no longer yours to carry quietly. It is now something others can witness, measure, respond to. And as you take your place, standing in the center of that vast attention, you feel it clearly. Your value is about to be decided, out loud. The space holds you there, not moving, not beginning, just waiting. The noise shifts around you, rising, falling, reacting to something unseen. You stand still, your breath slow, your grip steady. Across from you, another figure steps forward, shaped the same way you are, trained the same way, holding the same weight. You do not know them. You do not need to. The distance between you is clear, defined, final. There is no instruction given, no signal that explains what happens next. But your body already knows. It has been learning this, piece by piece, without words. The other figure moves first, slight, controlled. You respond, not thinking, just acting. Step, turn, adjust. The space between you shifts, closes, opens again. The sound around you reacts instantly, louder, sharper, alive. Every movement you make is seen, every hesitation felt. And in that constant awareness, something changes again. You are not just trying to survive. You are being evaluated in real time. The movement becomes faster now. Not chaotic, but undeniable. Each step carries consequence. Each decision narrows the space between staying and falling. You feel the presence of the other more clearly. Their breath, their pace, their intent. The world outside of this space fades. There is only motion, only timing, only response. A strike comes. You shift, barely, enough. The ground beneath you holds firm. The sound around you surges, then settles. It follows everything, reacts to everything. You are no longer alone in this moment. You are connected to something larger, something watching, deciding. The other figure falters, just slightly. A break in rhythm. You see it. Your body reacts before thought returns. Movement follows movement, controlled, direct, final. And then, stillness, brief, quiet, heavy. The sound around you changes again, not softer, but different. And as you stand there, breathing steady, feeling the weight in your hand, you begin to understand the truth that settles deeper than before. What just happened was not only about survival. It was about being judged. And the judgment does not come from you. Now, the moment does not end right away. It lingers, stretches, just enough to make you feel it. The space around you holds still, but not quietly. The sound does not explode. It builds, slowly, like something rising from beneath you. You remain where you are, your body steady, your breath controlled. You do not look for approval, but you feel it searching for you. The crowd shifts, not as one, but as many. Some voices rise, others fall. Not all agree. Not all respond the same. And that is what reaches you. Not certainty, but reaction. Uneven, unpredictable, alive. You lower your weapon slightly, not because it is over, but because there is nothing left to do. The decision is no longer in your hands. It never was. You stand there, inside their response, feeling how it moves, how it changes, how it passes through you without staying. And in that unstable wave of attention, something becomes clear. Your life here is not judged by what you did. It is judged by how it made others feel in that exact moment. And once that feeling fades, so does the weight of everything you just survived. You are guided away, not rushed, not celebrated, just moved. The space behind you fades as you step back through the gate. The light softens again. The sound becomes distant, then disappears. Your body returns to stillness, but something remains. A trace of that noise, that reaction, that presence. It lingers in your awareness. You sit once more among the others. Some look unchanged. Others carry the same quiet shift you feel. No one speaks of it. There are no stories exchanged, no reflection offered. But it is there, in the way bodies hold themselves, in the way silence feels heavier now. You understand it without needing to say it. Out there, you were not just alive. You were observed, measured, responded to. And here, in the quiet that follows, that realization settles deeper than any training. Your life has become something that can be consumed. Time passes again, slowly, gently. The rhythm returns, but it is no longer the same. Something inside you has changed. Not your movement, not your obedience, but your awareness. You sit, feeling your breath steady, your body calm, but your thoughts quieter than before. You think of the sound, how it rose, how it fell, how it shaped the moment more than anything you did. You begin to see it clearly now. The value you hold here is not in your strength, not in your skill alone. It is in how others feel when they watch you. If they respond, you matter. If they do not, you fade. The truth is simple, quiet, undeniable. Your life is not weighed in silence anymore. It is weighed in reaction. And as that understanding settles fully, you realize you are no longer just trying to live. You are trying to be worth watching. Now, the space changes again, not into noise, not into spectacle, but into order. a different kind of silence. You stand among many, but this time the distance between you is exact, measured, controlled. Your body is given new weight, not a weapon for display, but armor. It does not fit perfectly. It presses in places it should not. But you adjust. You always do. Around you, others wear the same shape, the same burden. No one stands out. No one is meant to. A voice calls out, not loud but firm. It does not ask, it directs. You move forward together, not as separate bodies, but as one line, one form. Your steps begin to match, slowly at first, then completely. The sound of movement becomes unified, steady, deliberate. And in that quiet synchronization, something shifts again. You are no longer being seen individually. You are part of something that moves as a whole. The march begins without announcement. Just a step, then another. The ground stretches ahead, long, unbroken. You do not know where it leads. You do not need to. The line holds. That is what matters. Your body follows the rhythm easily now. Left, right, left, right. The armor settles heavier with each step, but your pace does not change. It cannot. Beside you, others move the same way, identical, precise. No one looks around. No one breaks formation. The world narrows to the space directly ahead, the step you are about to take, the position you must hold. Time becomes distance. Distance becomes effort, and effort becomes constant. The individuality you once felt fades further. Not removed, just unnecessary. And as the line continues forward, unwavering, you begin to understand the next truth. Your value here is not in standing out. It is in not breaking the line. Eventually, the movement stops. Not because you are told, but because the line halts as one. The stillness that follows is immediate, complete. You remain in place, your posture held, your breath controlled. The world around you returns slowly. Sound, space, distance. But you do not move. Not yet. The voice returns, giving direction. Short, clear, final. You shift your stance, not freely, but in unison. Shields are raised, positions adjusted, every motion mirrored across the line. There is no hesitation, no variation, only structure, only form. You feel it now, deeper than before. You are not here to think. You are not here to decide. You are here to hold, to remain, to function exactly as expected. And as you stand there, part of something larger than yourself, perfectly aligned, perfectly controlled, you begin to see it clearly. Your life here is measured by stability, by consistency, by how well you can remain exactly where you are needed. Now, the line moves again. Slower this time, heavier. The ground beneath your feet changes, softer in places, uneven in others. The air feels thicker, warmer. You continue forward, step after step. No break in the rhythm, no change in pace. The weight on your body presses deeper now. Not just armor, but time. You have been moving for longer than you can measure. Your legs respond automatically. Your breath settles into a quiet pattern. Beside you, the line holds. No one falls behind. No one moves ahead. The world narrows once more, to the step, and the next step after that. The distance stretches endlessly, and yet you keep moving. Because stopping is not part of this. And in that long, steady motion, you begin to understand something new. Your value is not in a single moment anymore. It is in endurance, in how long you can continue without breaking. When the line finally slows, it does not stop completely. It shifts, redirects. You are guided into a space less defined. The ground is rougher here. The formation loosens, but does not dissolve. You are given a moment, not to rest, but to exist without immediate movement. Your body notices the change. The absence of constant steps feels unfamiliar. Your legs remain tense, ready to continue. Around you, others adjust in the same quiet way. No one sits. No one relaxes fully. The structure is still present, even in stillness. You look ahead. The horizon is unclear. Shapes blur in the distance. Something is there, but not yet formed in your awareness. A sense of waiting returns, not passive, but prepared. And as you stand within that uncertain space, holding your position without clear direction, you begin to understand another layer. Your value is not only in movement, but in readiness, in how quickly you can become what is needed when the moment arrives. The signal comes without warning. Not loud, not dramatic, but immediate. The line tightens again. Formation returns, sharper, faster. Your body responds before thought forms. Shield up, stance set. The space in front of you fills with motion, unclear at first, then undeniable. Shapes moving toward you, fast, uneven. The air shifts, tension rises, not in sound, but in presence. You do not step back. You cannot. The line holds. It must. The first impact comes suddenly, force meeting force. Your body absorbs it, steadies, holds. The world narrows completely now. No distance, no horizon, only contact, only resistance. The sounds around you blur into something constant, not individual, but continuous. You remain in place, your role clear. Do not break, do not fall, do not move out of line. And as the pressure builds, pushing against you, testing you, you understand the truth that settles deepest so far. Your life here is not about winning. It is about holding long enough for something else to succeed. Now, everything moves at once, not in chaos, but in compression. The space in front of you collapses into motion. Shapes press closer, closer. Your shield meets force again and again. Your body absorbs it, redirects it, holds. There is no clear line between action and reaction anymore. Only response, only timing. You hear sounds, but they do not separate into meaning. They merge into one continuous presence. You do not search for targets. You do not choose. You follow the rhythm of the line. Step forward, hold, adjust, step again. The ground beneath you shifts with every movement, uneven, uncertain, but your stance remains. It must. Beside you, others move the same way, perfectly aligned. No hesitation, no deviation. And in that compressed moment, where everything happens at once, you begin to understand something deeply quiet. You are not here to see clearly. You are here to act without needing to see. The pressure builds, then shifts. Not gone, just redirected. The line moves forward now, slowly, deliberately. Your steps are smaller, tighter, controlled. You feel the space opening just enough to move, but not enough to relax. Your arms hold steady. Your body remains firm. The rhythm continues. Forward, hold, forward, hold. Time stretches again, but differently. Each moment feels full, dense, complete. You do not think of before. You do not think of after. Only this. Only now. A figure appears briefly in front of you, then disappears, replaced by another, then another. None of them stay long enough to be known. They are not individuals. They are moments, passing, colliding, fading. And as you continue forward, never breaking formation, never stepping out of place, you begin to understand the next truth. Your value is not in remembering what happens here. It is in continuing, no matter what does. Then, without warning, the space beside you changes. Not in sound, not in movement, but in absence. The presence that was there is no longer. The rhythm shifts for a fraction of a moment, just enough to feel it. The body that stood next to you, holding the same line, moving in the same pattern, is gone. You do not look. You cannot. Your position does not allow it. Your role does not permit it. You adjust instead, slightly. Enough to close the space, enough to restore the line. The formation holds again, as if nothing changed, as if nothing was lost. The movement continues, uninterrupted, complete. And in that quiet, immediate replacement, you understand something with absolute clarity. It does not matter who stands beside you. It only matters that someone does. The line must remain, the structure must hold, and your place within it can be filled as easily as it can be taken. Now, the pressure begins to ease. Not suddenly, but gradually. The force in front of you softens. The movement slows. The line still holds, but the intensity fades into something quieter. Your body remains ready. It does not relax, not yet. Your arms still carry the weight, your starts still grounded. But the demand lessens. The space ahead opens, just enough to breathe, just enough to feel distance again. The sounds shift, no longer constant, no longer pressing. They break apart into fragments, separate, uneven. You continue to move forward, but slower now, more controlled, as if the moment that required everything from you has passed. And as that realization settles, you begin to feel something unexpected. Not relief, not pride, just emptiness. A quiet space where effort used to be. And in that space, a thought forms gently. Nothing you did will be remembered here, only that the line did not break. When the movement finally stops, it does so completely. The stillness returns, immediate, full. You remain in position, waiting, your breath steady, your body holding the shape it has learned. The voice comes again, distant but clear enough. A command, short, final. The line lowers slightly, shields shift, posture changes, but only as instructed, never freely, never independently. You look ahead. The space is empty now, or feels that way. Whatever was there before has moved on, or ended. It is difficult to tell. No one speaks of it. No one acknowledges it. The moment exists, then disappears, just like everything else here. You stand, unchanged in form, but altered in understanding. You have passed through something, without leaving a trace. And as you hold that realization, quiet and steady, you begin to see it clearly. Your value was never in what you experienced. It was in what you maintained, while experiencing it. You are led away once more. The line dissolves, but not into freedom, into separation, smaller groups, quieter spaces. The armor remains on you, but its weight feels different now. Familiar, expected. You walk without needing direction. Your body follows the path as if it has already learned it. The ground becomes even again, the air cooler, calmer. The intensity fades behind you, leaving only its shape in your memory. You arrive at a place to stop, to sit, to wait. Others gather around you, silent, still. No one asks what happened. No one answers. There is no need. Everything that mattered has already been decided. You sit slowly, your body lowering with controlled ease. Your hands rest, your breath steady. And in that quiet return, a final understanding settles into place. Your life here is not counted by survival alone. It is counted by usefulness, by whether your presence helped something larger continue. And if it did, then that is enough. Nothing more is required. Now, the weight changes again. Not removed, but softened. The armor is gone. Your body feels lighter, unfamiliar in its own way. You wake without a command this time, slowly, naturally. The space around you is smaller, quieter. No line, no formation, just a room, and a door that does not open by itself. You sit up. No one tells you to move. No one counts. The silence feels different here, less controlled, but not free. You stand when you choose to, a small decision, but noticeable. You walk toward the door, open it, step outside. The world feels wider now. People move around you, not in unison, not in silence. Voices exist here, soft, scattered, alive. You are not being watched constantly, not measured with every step. And yet, as you begin to walk among them, you feel it. A different kind of weight. Not on your body, but around you. You are no longer controlled, but you are still part of something. Something quieter. Something that continues without needing to notice you. The day unfolds slowly. Not structured, but patterned. You find yourself moving with purpose. Not assigned, but expected. Work appears in front of you. Simple tasks, clear enough to follow. You begin without instruction. Your hands remember how to move. They always do. The difference is, no one stands behind you. No one corrects immediately. The rhythm is yours now, or feels like it. But the work must still be done. It always must. People pass by. Some glance at you, most do not. Their lives continue alongside yours, but not connected to it. You are part of the flow, not the focus. Time moves differently here, softer, less intense, but still constant. You work, you pause, you continue. And in that quiet repetition, without pressure, without command, you begin to understand something subtle. You are free to act, but not free from necessity. As the day settles, you begin to notice the others more clearly, not as bodies in formation, but as individuals, each moving at their own pace, their own direction. Some carry more, some carry less. Some stop, some continue. There is variation here, but within limits. You watch without staring, observe without needing to understand fully. And slowly, a comparison begins to form, quiet, unspoken. Where do you stand among them? Not in line, not in rank, but in worth. The thought does not come suddenly. It grows, gently, from everything around you. Who is needed more? Who is seen more? Who is ignored? And where are you placed within that balance? You continue your work. but the awareness stays, lingering beneath each movement. And as the light begins to fade, and the day draws toward its quiet end, you begin to see it clearly. You are no longer priced. You are measured in a different way, not by what you cost, but by what you contribute. Now, the rhythm becomes familiar, not imposed, not forced, but steady enough to follow without thought. You wake, and the day already knows what it will be. You move through it quietly, task to task, place to place. No one directs you, yet everything feels directed. The work waits, and you meet it. Your hands move easily now, practiced, efficient. There is no urgency, but there is no pause either. Time flows through effort. You notice how each small action connects to something else, unseen but necessary. Others rely on it without knowing you. You rely on them without seeing it. And in that quiet exchange, something forms, a system, a balance. You are part of it, not central, not insignificant, just present. And as you continue through the day, without interruption, without recognition, you begin to understand the shape of your value. It is not spoken, not declared. It exists in how everything continues because you did your part. The work continues, and with it, a quiet obligation, not forced, but constant. You feel it in the way your body rises each time, in the way your hands return to motion without resistance. There is no one watching closely, but the absence of oversight does not remove the need. If anything, it deepens it. You are responsible now, in a way that feels heavier than control. You move through the tasks carefully, not out of fear, but out of understanding. Mistakes here do not bring immediate correction, but they ripple outward, subtle, delayed, affecting things you may never see. You begin to sense those connections, faint at first, then clearer. Your actions matter, but not to you alone. And as that awareness settles, you find yourself working not because you are told, but because it must be done. And in that quiet shift, you begin to see it clearly. Your value is not enforced, it is maintained by your willingness to continue. Later, you pause, briefly, not because you are finished, but because the moment allows it. You stand still, feeling the weight of the day in a different way, not in your body, but in the space around you. Voices pass, distant conversations, names spoken, decisions made, far from where you stand. You hear them, but they do not include you, not directly. Your role exists beneath those sounds, supporting, sustaining, unnoticed. You look around. The world continues easily, smoothly. Nothing depends on a single movement. Nothing stops if you hesitate for a moment. And that realization settles quietly. You are not easily replaced, but you are not irreplaceable. The system adjusts, always. And as you return to your work, stepping back into the flow without disruption, you begin to understand the truth more clearly. Your value is not in standing out. It is in fitting in so well that everything continues as if you were never separate from it at all. Now, the world reaches you in fragments, not directly, but through quiet mentions, voices passing by, short exchanges. You hear of movement beyond your space, distant conflicts, decisions made far away. They do not involve you, and yet they shape the edges of your day. The work changes slightly, supplies shift, routines adjust, small things but noticeable. You continue as before, steady, consistent. But there is a sense now that what you do is connected to something larger, something you cannot see and do not control. You pause for a moment, listening to a conversation that fades as quickly as it arrives. Names are spoken, places mentioned. None of them stay. And as you return to your task, you begin to understand the quiet truth. Your life moves within a structure, influenced by forces that will never know you. Later, you pass by a place you recognize, not because you have been there, but because something in you remembers it. The space is louder, more open. People gather, not to work, but to watch. You do not stop, but your steps slow slightly, just enough to notice the shape of it, the sound of it, the reaction of the crowd. And for a brief moment, something aligns. A memory without detail, a feeling without form. You have stood in a place like this before, not here, but somewhere, doing something, being seen. The realization is soft, almost distant, but it stays with you as you move on. The noise fades behind you. The work returns. The rhythm resumes. And yet, a question lingers, quiet but persistent. What is the difference between the one who watches and the one who is watched? As the day continues, that question remains. Not pressing, not urgent, just present. You observe more carefully now, the way people move, the way some are noticed and others are not, the way attention gathers, then disappears. You see it clearly. Value here is not fixed. It shifts, depending on where you stand and who is looking. You continue your work, unchanged in action, but altered in awareness. You understand now that your place is not at the center. It does not need to be. But it is not without meaning either. You contribute, you maintain, you support, and still, you are rarely seen. The balance holds, quiet, stable. And as you move through it, without interruption, without recognition, you begin to accept it. Your value is not in being remembered. It is in being part of something that does not stop, even when no one notices you at all. Now, the understanding settles deeper, not as a thought, but as a quiet presence that follows you through each movement. You wake and already know where you stand, not at the bottom, not at the top, but somewhere in between. A place that holds but does not rise. You move through the day as before. Work, pause, continue. Nothing changes, and yet everything feels clearer. You see how easily the world continues around you, how smoothly it adjusts. If one part slows, another fills the space. If one stops, something else replaces it. Not abruptly, not harshly, just naturally. You are part of that balance, necessary but not singular. And as that awareness settles fully, you begin to understand the quiet truth. You are not without value, but your value is shared, distributed, never held by you alone. Later, you notice an absence. Small at first. A familiar presence no longer there. Someone who moved through the same space, followed the same rhythm, is gone. There's no announcement, no reaction. The work continues. The flow remains unchanged. You feel it for a moment. The space where they once stood, now filled by something else. Not the same, but enough. You continue your task, your hands steady, your pace unchanged.
but your awareness lingers on that absence. How quickly it disappeared, how quietly it was replaced. And in that quiet observation, something settles more firmly inside you. It is not enough to exist here. It is not enough to contribute. The system does not pause to remember. It only continues. And as you move forward, unchanged on the outside, you begin to feel it clearly. Your presence matters, but only as long as it fits.
The day begins to close, slowly, gently. The light softens. The movement around you slows, but does not stop. It never truly stops. You finish what is in front of you, not because it is the end, but because it is complete. You stand for a moment, without immediate purpose, a rare pause. You look around. The world continues, just as it did before you arrived, just as it will after you leave. The realization is not heavy, not painful, just clear. You are part of something stable, something that does not depend on you alone. And as you step away, returning to rest, returning to quiet, you carry that understanding with you. Your value here is not in being essential. It is in being consistent, in being one part of something that endures, with or without you. Now, the world shifts once more. Not in noise, not in pressure, but in distance. You wake in a space that is wider, quieter, untouched by the rhythm you once followed. The air feels still, almost deliberate. You rise slowly. No urgency, no task waiting immediately for your hands. The floor beneath you is smooth, the walls clean. Everything holds a sense of order without effort. You step forward, and the space responds differently, not with demand, but with allowance. People move here as well, but not around you, for you. Doors open before you reach them. Voices lower when you pass. Your name exists again, spoken softly, remembered. You do not question it, you accept it. Because here, identity is not taken, it is maintained. And as you walk through this calm, controlled space, you begin to understand the next shift. You are no longer part of the system. You stand above it. The day unfolds without resistance. You do not search for work. It comes to you, not as labor, but as choice. Small decisions, quiet instructions. People listen when you speak, not out of fear, but expectation. Your presence carries weight now, not physical, but social. You notice how easily things move when you are involved, how quickly others adjust, align, respond. There is no visible force, and yet everything bends slightly in your direction. You sit, you stand, you move, and the space accommodates. The control you feel is subtle, but constant. You are not pushed, you are followed. And in that quiet influence, something settles into place. Your value is no longer hidden. It is reflected in how others respond to you. As the day continues, you begin to see further, beyond the immediate space. Decisions made here travel outward, affecting places you cannot see directly. People bring you information, not all of it, only what reaches this level. You listen, you consider, you respond. Your words are carried away, turned into action by others. You do not see the result immediately. You do not need to. The system extends beyond your view, but it connects back to you. And in that connection, your role becomes clearer. You are not maintaining the structure anymore. You are shaping it, slowly, quietly, through influence rather than effort. And as that realization settles, calm and complete, you begin to understand the difference. Your life is no longer measured by what you do, but by what happens because of you. Now, the stillness around you carries a different weight. Not empty, but observed. You move through the space as before, calm, measured, but something subtle follows you. Not footsteps, not sound, but attention. You feel it in the pauses of others, in the slight delay before they speak, in the careful way they choose their words. Your presence shapes the air, but it also binds you to it. You sit, and the room adjusts. You stand, and it shifts again. Nothing is forced, and yet nothing is free from consequence. Even the smallest action carries meaning here. You begin to notice it clearly. The higher you stand, the narrower your movement becomes. Not restricted by walls, but by expectation. And in that quiet realization, something settles deeper than before. You are not being controlled, but you cannot move without being seen. Later, a small moment unfolds. Simple, almost nothing. A word spoken slightly too soon. A gesture held a moment too long. The room changes, just slightly. A shift in tone, a pause in response. No one reacts directly, but everyone notices, including you. The weight of that moment lingers, not because it was large, but because it was visible. Here, even the smallest misstep echoes further than it should. You correct yourself, not outwardly, but inwardly, adjusting, refining, becoming more precise. The control you once felt begins to reveal its other side. It is not only power, it is responsibility, constant, quiet, unending. And as you move forward again, more aware than before, you begin to understand the truth. Your value here is not just in influence, but in maintaining it without fracture. The day continues, smooth on the surface, but layered beneath. You listen more carefully now, speak more slowly. Each decision weighed, not for effort, but for effect. The space responds as it always has, but you feel the difference. The ease is no longer effortless. It is maintained, held together by attention, by control, by awareness that does not rest. You walk through the halls, and everything remains in place. But you know now how easily it could shift, how quickly perception can change, how fragile this level truly is. And as that understanding settles fully, calm but undeniable, you begin to see it clearly. You are not above the system. You are inside it, at a point where every movement defines how it sees you. And once that image changes, everything else will follow. Now, you find yourself standing at a distance, above or perhaps just apart. The air is open, the space wide. Below you, movement gathers. Voices rise and fall in waves. Familiar, though you cannot say why at first. You rest your hands lightly, feeling the stillness around you. And then, it becomes clear. The pattern, the sound, the shape of attention moving through a crowd. You have heard this before. You have stood within it, not here, but there, in the center, being watched. The memory does not return fully, but the feeling does. Sharp, then quiet. You look down again. Figures move below, small at this distance, but clear in purpose. And for a moment, everything aligns. The one who watches and the one who is watched are not as separate as they seem. The realization stays with you. Not heavy, not urgent, but steady. You observe more closely now, not just what happens, but how it is received. The rise of sound, the fall of interest, the way attention shifts from one figure to another without hesitation. It is fluid, immediate, indifferent. You see it clearly. The crowd does not hold on to anyone for long. It responds, then moves on. And as you stand there, no longer part of the movement below, you begin to feel something subtle. Distance does not remove you from judgment. It only changes the angle. You are still seen, still measured, just differently. Your value is not in survival here, but in perception, in how long you can remain within the focus of others before it drifts away. As you turn away, the sound fades behind you. Softer, then distant, then gone. You walk back through the quiet halls, the smooth floors, the controlled air. Everything remains as it was, unchanged, stable. But something inside you has shifted. Not in position, but in understanding. You see it now, more clearly than before. Every place you have been, every role you have held, connects. The slave, the fighter, the soldier, the citizen, all part of the same structure. Each measured differently, but measured all the same. And here, at this level, nothing has truly changed. Only the form of evaluation. And as you continue walking, calm, composed, aware, you begin to understand the deeper truth. No matter where you stand, your value is never entirely yours. It is always shaped by how others see you. Now, the space grows quieter than before. Not empty, but distant. You sit alone, or as close to alone as this place allows. No voices reach you here. No movement requires your response. For the first time, there is no role waiting, no expectation pressing forward, just stillness. You rest your hands, feeling their weight without purpose. And slowly, a question begins to form, not from outside, but from within. If everything you have been was shaped by where you stood, then what remains when you step outside of it? You think of the armor, the line, the crowd, the quiet work, the controlled halls. Each one gave you value, but none of them stayed. And as that thought settles, you begin to feel something unfamiliar. Not loss, not confusion, but space. A place where definition has not yet been decided. The stillness continues, gentle, unbroken. You let the thoughts move without holding them. What would remain if the roles were removed? If no one watched? If no one counted? If no one responded? The question does not demand an answer. It simply exists, steady, patient. You breathe slowly. The air feels lighter here, freer, but also uncertain. Without structure, there is no measure. Without measure, there is no assigned worth. And in that quiet absence, something both calm and unsettling begins to take shape. If your value has always been given, adjusted, decided, then what happens when no one is there to decide it? You sit with that question, not resisting it, not solving it, just allowing it to remain. And now, everything slows. The movement of the world fades to a distant memory. The roles dissolve, one by one, until nothing remains but you and the quiet around you. No title, no function, no audience, just presence. Simple, steady, enough. You feel your breath rise, then fall, again and again. Nothing interrupts it. Nothing defines it. And in that calm, open space, the final thought arrives. Soft, almost like a whisper. If a life can be priced, measured, shaped by others, then where does its true value begin? Does it exist in the eyes that watch, or in the one who lives it? The question does not close. It does not resolve. It stays, open, gentle, endless. And as you rest there, drifting slowly into stillness, you carry it with you, not as a burden, but as something to quietly hold, as the world fades and the silence finally becomes complete.